Hallo, ihr Lieben. So schnell geht es. Gerade war noch Convention-Zeit, schon sind wir zurück. Und jetzt geht es auch schon darum, was haben wir erlebt? Ihr seht hier alle im Hintergrund, wow, was ist denn da los in der PowerPoint? Sind wir jetzt hier im Mathematikkurs gelandet oder im IT-Kurs und sollen vielleicht noch irgendwas zusammenlöten oder so? Nein, nein, nein. Es geht um euch selbst, um eure Verbindung und euren Körper. Wir erwarten gleich einen Gast. Den würde ich noch mal ganz kurz vorstellen. Und zwar ist das Lisa Burke, die gleich kommen wird. Und Lisa Burke ist der ehemalige Generalmanager von doTERRA European, und zwar vom ganzen europäischen Part. Und sie hat irgendwann den Weg angetreten, raus aus Corporate, rein in den Part der Leaderin und das große Glück, dass ich sie seit vielen Jahren als eine meiner Freundinnen bezeichnen kann. Und somit möchte ich dann gleich ja, hören und sehen, was vielleicht von ihr kommt. Und bevor wir uns auf unseren Weg dessen machen, was die Convention war und was das Besondere ist, möchte ich nur kurz vorwegschieben. Dieser Call ist kein ganz langer Call, der jetzt unterschiedliche Dinge zur Convention auseinander nimmt in allen kleinen Facetten. Nein, sondern wir machen das so, dass dieser Call wird eine wirkliche ganz schlanke Zusammenfassung von dem sein, was das Wichtigste ist, ähm, was auch immer jeder für sich als wichtig rausnimmt, was aber ihr auch schon in den E-Mails, die ihr in den letzten Tagen bekommen habt, sehen konntet, erfahren könnt. Das wird einfach ein kurzer Part sein und den werden wir dann in den nächsten Wochen immer weiter auseinandernehmen können in die einzelnen Bestandteile. Und dazu kann ich jetzt schon mal ankündigen, könnt ihr euch alle darauf freuen und eben halt auch alle, die noch dazukommen werden, können sich freuen. Wir werden in der übernächsten Woche, wir haben heute ja den, jetzt muss ich gerade schummeln, der 13. ist heute, der 13.05. Und in der übernächsten Woche werden wir starten. Und zwar starten die Silke Friedrich, die Kirsten Krause und ich Calls, wöchentlich Calls zu unterschiedlichen Themen, die immer wieder hintereinander weglaufen werden. Das heißt also, wenn einer bei dem einen Call war und bei dem anderen nicht, habt euch dann was verpasst. Na klar, hast du was verpasst, kannst du aber irgendwann dann nachholen. Und diese Calls werden dafür da sein, damit man so die Grundbasis immer mal wieder auffrischen kann für sich oder aber auch bestimmte Themen wie rund um den Haushalt oder eben halt Supplements für sich abdecken kann. Ich sehe, glaube ich, dass wir jetzt schon einen Gast da haben, den wir eben gesucht haben oder auf den wir uns ganz doll freuen. Lisa Burke, bist du da?
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Saskia. Hi,
So glad to have you
everyone.
here.
Hi. Let me just see. So, who do we have on?
Uh, we would like, I have introduced you before. So we all now know where you are and from which position you came and what you do in the past and what you will do now to be one of our greatest uplines. We are so pleasant to have you here. And we would a little bit hear from you. What's your experience about the last convention? I'm so glad to have you on my side on the last days. And we would know a little bit about your feeling and what are the biggest notes you have taken about the convention? A little bit, maybe from your aspect, G or Omega, it's up to you.
Yeah.
And also, please tell other people they will see this recording why you need to go to one of this big convention from doTERRA. So now I stop my talking and I give my voice with my absolute love to you. And thanks, Lisa, for your time to come here.
Oh, you're welcome. So, I'll try to speak slowly. Thank you for taking the patience to listen to me speaking in English. And it's really fantastic. Thank you, Saskia, for inviting me to come and just share a few thoughts with you this evening. As Saskia has already shared, we were at the convention in Brussels, and it was so incredible. Nothing could prepare us, I think Saskia will agree, for what was shared at that convention. You know, we've been to conventions before. I've even organized the conventions before, so I'm used to you know, the power of the influence and how you feel inspired at these events. But for me, the thing that was so different this time was I really feel that doTERRA is going into a whole a new season of growth, a new season of science, a new season of products that are going to, not that the products didn't change lives before, but are going to change lives on a whole new level. We've all seen the benefits and experienced the benefits of lifelong vitality. Um, but of course, with lifelong vitality, we know that so many people had what is called pill fatigue from taking all these pills every day. And that meant that people often felt they couldn't continue to stay loyal to that regime every day because, they either forgot to take the tablets or there was too many tablets to take. So we had this amazing product that we knew changed lives, and it was quite frustrating in a way because you wanted everyone to, see what you see and experience what you experience. And so with the VMG, what I'm so excited about is that this product is just such an easy once a day product that you can take each morning, get all the benefits and more of what we have benefited from to date with lifelong vitality. And it's a new generation, totally a new generation. And why that is so important, not just for sharing this amazing product with other people, from a business perspective, I believe it is again almost like I'm calling it doTERRA 2.0, I don't does that translate? This is the new generation because we know that when you've got people that use these products on a regular basis and they see how they have changed their lives, you have a customer for life. So once you have a customer for life, you can then help many more people while that person continues to reorder. Then your job is obviously, done, although you're obviously there to continue to support them. But the next thing is to sort of concentrate on finding more people that you need to help. And so it works so hand in hand. So for me, that was my huge takeaway from the event that, we've got a tool that can go around the world that we can take to people around the world and change lives in the most incredible way. So I have done Saskia, were you on the call yesterday? Were you on Peter's call
No,
yesterday?
no.
No, okay. I did make a few slides for that call. I don't know, would you like me to share them?
Oh, yes, sure. Um,
On the, I don't know how long people have or how long you've scheduled this call for. What's the,
so we are open. It's complete recorded,
okay.
so that's not a problem. Let me make you to the
Yeah, I think you need to allow me to share my
yeah.
screen.
Normally now you can do it.
Okay, great. Okay, so the first thing I talked about, and tell me if you want me to talk about this or whether you just want me to go straight onto the products. The first thing I talked about was the really simple way of earning, it's in pounds, but £500 a month. But I'm not sure, is that something you want to talk about, or do you just want me
You
to go on to the products?
you can show complete free, and after you are ready, we go back to our slides. So everything is fine, Lisa.
Okay. So again, as part of the like this doTERRA 2.0, doTERRA is making some adjustments to the compensation plan in order to make things easier and allow people, especially in the early days, to earn more money and quicker. They recognize that, I'm sure you've all seen these people that are earning lots of money, but it takes time to get there. And they recognize that, there's a lot of people that come in and join the business, and we want people to feel the reward as soon as possible. So there's been this change in the power of what was the power of three structure, where simply you can now £500 a month, which is sort of €600, by structuring your business, by having a group of people on your first level that have 500 PV in the month. So you yourself have 100 PV and they have 500 PV. Now, you may have known in the past, you used to have three people all with 100 PV. Now it doesn't matter. You could have, 10 people doing 50 and it will still count. So it's basically, Saskia will, obviously go through this with you in fine detail, but basically it makes it easier because everyone's order counts, and there's a boost to it that if in people that you have enrolled in the last year, if you add all those people's sales together, if it comes to more than £800 and you have achieved two levels of the power of three, then they'll basically double it. They'll double your income. And along with the fast start, that ends up being around about 500 a month. So I love this. It's just really simple. We can go through it on a more one-to-one case with you. But I think the sort of the takeaway from it is the company's listening. It's doing things to make life easier right from the beginning for new people and established people that are on the early stage of their journey, which I love. And so then on to these powerful products. So VMG, there was so much science. I think we had, was it 5 separate talks from Dr. Hill? And everyone loves Dr. Hill, and he was in amazing form at the convention, and he told us some great stories in his presentations. And this um, he launched the VMG and along with the team. So, the basics of it, it's all whole food. It has all your vitamins, your minerals, your fruit, your veg, your digestive enzymes, probiotics, peptides, and also the CPTG essential oils. Now, of course, there's so many supplements on the market. How do you choose which one is best? What no one has, however much anybody tells you, oh yeah, we've got the same as this, we've got all these things. What no one has in their supplements is CPTG grade essential oils. That makes the difference, because what the oils do is help drive the individual nutrients into your cells. And only when you get the nutrients into your cells will you get the full benefit. So that's the science behind it. Here you can see some superfoods. These are actually some slides that I took photographs of at the convention, and you can see some of the superfoods.
No, we can't see.
You can't see my slides?
No.
Oh,
So we wait to come on.
oh, okay. It says I'm sharing my
No, yet,
screen.
yet.
You can see now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you can see the superfoods?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here are some of the superfoods in the VMG plus, and you can see from the superfoods where the vitamin A, C, B, 6, 9, 7, 5, E, K, and all the iron, D, and zinc, etc., is coming from within there. There is over 75 individual natural by active ingredients. And within that, there's over 330 natural compounds. You can see there's some of the fruit and veg, blueberries and carrot and red grape and pineapple. Also, there's peptides. Are peptides big in Germany, Saskia, as they are in the UK?
Yes.
No, or not really known too much about?
No.
Okay, over here, everyone's talking about peptides. So peptides is sort of like, a wonder name. Everyone's saying, oh, whatever you do, you have to have peptides in your supplements. And basically what they are is amino acid proteins that tell the body what to do. So they stimulate things like collagen. They tell the body to stimulate collagen. They tell the body to correct the hormone balance. They tell the body where structural tissue improvements needed. So it's a real wonder ingredient, and there's lots and lots of science behind it. So, some people are just selling sort of like supplements that only have peptides in. So to know that almost like it's an added extra to know that there's peptides in there. The VMG has been formulated specifically for the European market. So if you have used the US formula, it is slightly different because we do have different formulation laws over here, what we can and can't use. But I actually looked at this and I was like, wow, I'm glad we're in Europe because this is actually better in my opinion. Things like moringa, there is so much, people are raving for this particular product. It is shown to have amazing digestive benefits, amazing on your metabolism, etc. So I'm really pleased that we've got that in the formulation. They're in little sachets. So if you've seen the American ones that they launched about 8 months ago, they're in like big square sachets. Ours are in much more convenient, really cute sachets, which are amazing. And then you just add them to, a glass of water, or you can put them in your smoothies, however you want to take it in the morning. And it's just that once a day application. They can improve your mood and clarity, boost your energy naturally, sharpen your focus, support digestion, fight inflammation, strengthen immunity. And this was the biggie. This is a scientific study that was done. And we know we can't stop the clock. We can't stop time. I wish I could, but we can't. But what we can do is improve our biological age. And they actually did a scientific test on a controlled group. And after 6 weeks, the biological age had reduced by 1.9 years. That was just like, wow to me. Because I'm like, well, if that's in 6 weeks, what's going to happen in 6 months and a year and 6 years? We're all going to be going backwards in time. But that's amazing. If daily nutrients aren't met, then we're stacking up problems for our health today and tomorrow. Our conditions that we may already have will worsen. Our bone health, our cardiovascular problems could be a result of that. Hormone imbalance can arise, low energy and metabolism can be impacted. So we all know how important it is to be on a preventative journey, not to wait until we're ill to start thinking I need to do something. It always amazes me how, people find money for, the next, trendy handbag or to go on holiday or to go out for a nice meal. all at the expense of their health, where they won't invest the money into preventative healthcare. So this is a really strong message, I think, that we need to, get people to wake up to. There was lots of scientifics that were shared. You can see here under the curve up to 600% improvement on some of the markers that were tested in the body to see how the bioavailable boost to different organs, to different parts of the body. And then here you can see this chart that was shared with us, showing the biological age reducing by 1.9 years. Then the other thing was here, this was an amazing scientific fact. The C-reactive protein, and this is actually produced in the body, in the liver, to fight inflammation. And sorry, not to fight inflammation, to show inflammation. So it's present, and if it's present in your liver, it's bad. Okay, so you want to get it out. And what they did is they tested this again after 6 weeks, and the C-reactive protein in the body, on average, from the controlled group, had come back down by 43%. So just think about that for a moment. Reducing that just to, in case of, the inflammation. Obviously, if you've got high inflammation in the liver or any organ of the body, we're stacking up problems for the future in our health. So really, really important. So again, more scientifics showing the increased vitamin B12, B9, vitamin D, and again, 400% under the microscope in the tests. I love that doTERRA is a science company. I've been in this industry now for nearly 4 decades, and you often go to these type of conventions and all you get is sort of a lot of hype and very salesy. doTERRA doesn't do that. doTERRA brings us real life science, and it was just so amazing to hear that. This was showing how, again, in our liver cells, how the oxidant effect had decreased in our liver cells by 150%. And then the glucagon, which is in the liver, which protects and repairs the liver. So really important, liver disease is on the up. And the way in which to protect that is to make sure you've got as much of this in your liver, glucagon. And it doubled the amount at the end of 6 weeks. So I hope that you can see, just sort of from this research, the reason that Saskia and I are so excited about this, because, we need to get this message out. So in the old Lifelong Vitality, we had 3 products, and the third product was the Omega. And what they've done very cleverly is they've taken that out of the VMG. So this makes it completely vegan and just deals with, obviously, all the nutrients from all the ingredients that I've just gone through. And then separate to that, they have produced the Omega. This is amazing. It's in 2 forms, and I'm particularly impressed with the second form. So I'm going to tell you, it's personal choice, but the first one is in the capsules, but I'm loving this idea of sachets and not having to take pills. I don't particularly like, the idea of taking pills. So I was so excited when I saw this. So they've also produced it in a sachet, but not only does it have the 4 types of omega, both of them have 4 different types of omega that comes from the Norwegian sea fish and harvested organically and from, the fresh waters. So they both have those in, But in the sachet, there's also extra virgin olive oil from Greece, which is produced in Lesbos, which is where doTERRA have a humanitarian effort going on there with the refugees, and they're actually giving them the opportunity to work, which I think is really important. You know, there's an old saying, isn't there? If you sort of teach a man to fish, then you know he can feed his family himself, and that is really what doTERRA is doing. Rather than just giving handouts, they're actually giving them work, and you know, bringing pride and respect back into their lives, which I think is really important. And then not only when they've done that and they're paying them to do that, they're then putting it into this amazing sachet. It tastes phenomenal. Did you taste it, Saskia?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you can
Yeah,
actually
last
sprinkle it.
2 months. So nice.
Yeah, you can sprinkle it on your salad because it tastes so fresh and beautiful. So you can get your omegas in such a great way, or again, you can put it in your smoothies, or you can just
And
drink straight from the
no,
sachet.
no fish is in your mouth.
Yeah,
So
doesn't taste of fish.
no fish taste.
And it's amazing for bringing your cholesterol down, for your heart, for your overall health. It gives you all the ALA, EPA, DHA, which again, if you're not too sure about this, you can go and research it yourself, but they're really important markers, really important to help reduce the risk of heart disease, which is still the #1 killer, and stroke and things like that. So this is a once a day product. This sachet, I think, is going to be so important for everyday health and wellness. And it basically cleans up the blood. It's sort of like, if you think about it, like, you know, a little vacuum cleaner going around your body, cleaning your blood up. Oh, I put Dr. Hill's visit to the doctor. So I found this story really funny, and I'll just share it with you now. So Dr. Hill was telling us how he went to the doctors, his own doctor, he obviously has his own doctor. And they said to him, because he's 65 now, and they said, Dr. Hill, we've got a problem with your notes. We haven't got your medication on your notes. We need to get your notes up to date. And so he said, well, that's because I'm not on medication. And they said, well, that's not healthy. So his doctor told Dr. Hill that it was not healthy to be on medication. So Dr. Hill said, but how can you say that? I'm healthy. That's why I'm not on medication. He said, yes, but what if you weren't healthy? And they wanted to put him on statins just in case, you know, he needed statins sometime in the future. And of course, Dr. Hill was like not having any of it. But I thought it was it's a real lesson, because that is how we know the pharma industry thinks in the main. You know, that the answer to our prayers are, you know, in that medication, in that pharmaceutical medication. And you know, often they wait until we are ill to give it, but actually sometimes even if we're not ill, they just want us, you know. And I know, and I'm sure you do, of people that they're on tablets, and then they have to go on more tablets to get rid of the side effects of the first lot of tablets, and then it's a never ending circle. And so I feel so inspired and in a privileged position to be able to show people there is another way. We can really make, you know, a difference to people's lives in such a powerful way by showing them how they can, you know, look after themselves in a proactive way. A little bit about the marine tradition. You can find all this on doTERRA. I'll show you where you can find out more information in a moment. This just compares the two ehemalige products. So you can see there's actually a higher concentration of fish oil in the sachets, along with the extra virgin olive oil. And you'll see in the soft gels, it has the wild orange essential oils to help drive Again, remember the oils are really going to help the pathway to drive this to cellular level. So no one else has got that. They may have, different omegas out there, but none of them can be as effective because they haven't got the essential oils driving these products into the cells to get intracellular benefit. And then in the sachets, they're using lemon oil to help drive the benefit. So you can see doTERRA's really going pill free. They're really into the whole sort of sachet market. So really sort of reinventing themselves. This is a whole new way of handling and dealing with our health. So I would really recommend that as soon as you can, you get your hands on the VMG, because I do believe we need to be a product of the product. And you can't talk enthusiastically until you've tried it yourself and you've seen the effects yourself. Then it's really authentic. It's coming from the heart, and you can really tell people your experiences. So that's the VMG. Then you've got the Omega sachets. And then, of course, we've already got the BP Assist. And although there is some probiotic in the VMG, we all know the importance of good health and gut. So many illnesses come from the gut. And so to have that extra boost of gut health with the BP Assist, which is a probiotic and a prebiotic. So those three products, I think, are almost like a must for foundational health. You have those as your foundation, then we all have our own things going on that we need extra support with. And then so you can layer on top the other products and the essential oils. Now, there is a post-convention kit with a lot of the products that were launched that's going to come available in the next few days. So watch out on your email for that. And also individually, the products will become available for sale from the 1st of June. So you'll actually be able to start selling them and promoting them to your customers from the 1st of June. Right at the end of convention, something that really hit me, and I know Saskia is a huge fan of this, is Dr. Hill came on the stage and he said, right, guys, you've seen so many wonderful things today, and every single one I stand behind. It's amazing. You're gonna all be, thrilled when you can get these products into your life. But don't forget Terrazyme. So Terrazyme, an old stable, but what this does for your body, none of the other products can do to the extreme. And this is actually the enzyme supplement. And because our bodies cannot produce this on its own, if we don't have enough enzymes in our body, then the other products we're taking out can't be nearly enough effective. I don't know whether you've ever done the experiment. It's really amazing. Do it if you haven't. Get a bowl of porridge and pour some Terrazyme, one of your supplement, open up the capsule and pour it on, and you see it dissolving the porridge. So that's what it's doing to your insides. It's helping you digest your food so that the nutrients can be easily absorbed. So not only when you're eating normal food, you can take all the nice, your body can take in the nutrients much more easily. Also, when you're supplementing, you get the highest benefit from the supplements. Also in it, you've got the curcumin, which is the anti-inflammatory, and it needs the enzymes to drive the anti-inflammatory. So really important. It will help with metabolic rate. It will help with your, your whole body function, support digestion, liver, your fat digestion. You can see it all on there. It's just an incredible product. And I know Saskia probably even more than me, because Saskia in the past has said to me, are you taking your Terrazyme? Because you're just a huge advocate of this product, aren't you, Saskia?
Yes, definitely. And for me, that hits my heart. he was complete ready with the whole presentation, and then he say, I have to say more. And you can see that makes doTERRA and Dr. Hill realistic and say, come on, I need to talk about this. It's so important
Yeah.
for each person. And so, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and it wasn't scripted.
yeah.
He didn't have a slide about it. He didn't, because we weren't launching that. It's been years and years ago that they launched TerraZyme, but he just knows that it had to be said because without it, he knew that everything that they've gone through today would not be as beneficial to us without this product. So it really hit home to me because if I'm really honest, I'm a little bit of a you know, I take TerraZyme when I remember. I'm not got into a habit of it, and it really drummed it home to me what you said. And okay, I have to start taking this on a regular basis before meals, like 20 minutes before a meal, or in the morning and night. I've just got to get into a routine with it because it is going to make all the difference to everything else that I'm
And
taking and doing.
so important. You cannot take enough about this. It's
Yeah,
absolute okay. You take two or you take six in the day. It's absolute up to you and your feeling.
yeah, absolutely. And then one of the things that I sort of want to share with you and sort of drill home a little bit is, and I was sort of sitting thinking about this as all this great information was coming through, and I was thinking, this is so amazing, but at the same time, what we don't want it to do is for people to think this is fantastic, but I've got to learn so much before I can even share it. I've seen this happen, so many times that now you sort of sit back and you like take 6 months to learn about all these products before you really feel confident. I would say, start to learn, start to read up about it, do it quickly. Uh, there is amazing resources that the company's put together, and it is in German as well, I believe. There is a QR code there. This will take you to the foundational wellness hub. So if you want to take a picture of the QR code, and there's lots of resources. So go through, have a quick read, and don't overcomplicate it. Get yourself educated on it so you can feel confident in your knowledge base, but you don't need to overcomplicate it for your customers. You just need to get to know it. If you get to know it yourself as a product that you're using and feel it and feel the difference, that really is, people don't, I think it's good for us, for our confidence to know that there's all these studies and there's all this, it's authentic. But for the average person, they just want to know, what's it going to do for me? And
Yeah.
are you taking it? And are you feeling good? Is it making a difference to you? That's really what our customers want to know. So go and learn about it. But as I say, don't get too hung up about everything that there might be to know and learn. There's also an academy which really deepens your product and your business knowledge. Again, this is in German too. So if you take the QR code, or I'm sure Saskia can send it to you as well, then you can go on there and learn.
Yeah, and before you start to talk about convention, I can say I did my training course from doTERRA about VMG yesterday, and it's so simple. And each person, each customer, each wellness advocate can go and do this course when they have the feeling they have to have more information. So make it
So
simple.
yeah, you did it in a couple of hours, right?
Yeah, less.
Less. Yeah, great. Okay, so we want more of you here with us next year or there with us next year. Um, I think, this year was a little bit of a wake-up call for me, and I think Saskia will probably agree with me. I had one lady from the team there that come up to me and said, you know what, before I came to convention, I was a little bit, unsure on my journey and where I was at. And I'm going home, and I can tell you next year, you're going to be seeing me up on that stage, getting recognition, being, she says, I'm a nothing, which I said, that is not true. No one is a nothing. But she said, in terms of rank, I'm a nothing. But I can absolutely promise you, you're going to be seeing me do some great things, and changing many people's lives in this next 12 months. And that's what the convention does for you. You come away inspired and feeling that you just have to share this message with so many people. There was a guy there called Matt Hall, is a presidential diamond from the US, and he said something that also really resonated with me when he was talking about, again, about knowledge and us getting the message out. And he said, everyone just needs to say less to more people. If we say less to more people, we can change so many more lives. And so that was a message that sort of really stuck with me. And there was loads of nuggets like that, things that can, are sort of almost like throwaways to a lot of people. And we all resonate to different remarks and to different people. And there's so much that you can get out of it, the camaraderie, that inspiring feeling of belonging and being part of something so phenomenal. So they launch next year's convention, which is in Poland, which is great for you guys. You might even be able to drive. I don't know, Saskia,
Yeah.
is it too long to drive from where you are? But it's a short flight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a nice area. And I will talk later a little bit about on this convention, we will have a plan for teams to come together. You can stay here or here. So,
yeah,
yeah, so I think
amazing.
more different as in the past.
Yeah. So the convention is on the 29th and 30th of May. That's the actual convention. And the day before, on the 28th, will be an empowerment day. So you can actually either just buy a ticket for the 2 days, or you can buy a ticket that includes the empowerment day as well. And it's the QR code is there to get that. And we've got a group. As soon as you register, you get put in our little WhatsApp group, and so you can keep up with all the news and all the information, where we as a team will all stay in the same hotel, and we'll uh, and as much as the convention was amazing, it was just as amazing to spend time with the team. Saskia and I, we sat down and put a plan together, and was able to speak to the team members that was there and help them with their visions and their plans. So it was, you'll get something really, money can't buy this. This is really important for your business to be there and to soak up all of that information.
But on top, I think it's also for all interest customer amazing experience.
Yeah. So amazing. I was surprised how many just customers were there. And the thing is, probably more easier for you being so close. You could just bring, customers just for the 2 days to hear. um, you'll have a customer for life, right? If you take them to that convention, you'll have a customer for life. They'll hear it with their own eyes. They'll meet the founders, whoever the founder is over. It was Dr. Hill this time, which was phenomenal. They'll launch nearer the time which founder we're having. They'll. But the thing for me, where I was inspired by Dr. Hill, but also hearing from other leaders that have built businesses is so inspiring. Everyone in doTERRA, has got such a good heart, and it makes you feel really blessed to be part of that whole sort of mission, changing the world with these products. So I can't recommend it enough. I don't know.
And we
Have
can
you
see
said,
you also.
sorry?
When we come over to convention, you will also there, and Rebecca and Nathan will be on the convention. So That's a way
Exactly.
to see more from the uplines you
Yeah.
never did before.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, have you shared this slide before, Saskia?
No,
So
no.
every year doTERRA publishes an impact report, and this just come out a few weeks ago. And again, it's just a confirmation really that you're part of something much bigger and solid. You know, what I don't know whether you've seen the Genesis video. I mean, it always makes me feel so humbled when I watch that video and the founders talk about the early days of doTERRA, 2007 before they launched in 2008, and they went to New York to get funding and they were offered 5 million, and they were like, punching the air because they were offered 5 million to invest in this company. And then they said, yeah, and all we need is 51%. And their heart dropped and they said, we can't do that. We can't give you 51% of the business because then we lose control. And if we lose control, we can't do what we want to do. You'll want us to source cheaper oils so you make more money. You want us to do things that are not actually in the interest of, our people that we're going to be bringing into the business, but is really more for the shareholders. And they turned it down, and instead of taking that 5 million, they put their houses on the line. They remortgaged their houses. They drawn on every saving that they had. They didn't draw wages for the first couple of years. Phenomenal. And so it's amazing that it's paid off for them, and now we're part of something, huge, but that they are in control of. And I would never join a business that belonged to anything to do with venture capitalists. I took that big decision to give up a big corporate role and join on this side of the fence because I knew the founders. I'd sat in boardrooms with them. I knew their heart and I knew that they'd never let me or anybody else in this business down. And that is so important. So you're part of something huge, but at the same time, the heart is still there. It still runs in a way where we're being looked after at the grassroots. So now a $2 billion company with over, 55 million donated to the Healing Hands. So to know that we're also making a difference in other people's lives as well, and 28 offices around the globe, 150 countries, just phenomenal how far doTERRA's come. And obviously the number one essential oil company in the world, and will not rest until we're the number one direct selling company in the world. So that really means that we can impact more and more people's lives on that journey. So just going back to what I was saying about, not knowing, not needing to know everything there is to know. I love this quote here. You don't learn to swim by reading about water. It's obvious, isn't it? The only way you're going to learn to swim is to get in the water and learn to swim. And so I love that analogy when it comes to this business. So everything that I've shared with you is amazing. Go on those hubs, learn about it, but then go and start sharing it, doing the swimming, talking to the people, being a product of the product yourself, making sure that you're feeling the benefits so you can then share it with other people. And that's how you learn to swim. And that's how you learn to have the most amazing business. So my message is not to waste any more time. If you have been wasting time, it's always good to be honest with yourself. Have I been on the fence a little bit? Do I need to get off the fence a little bit? Because the time really is now. Another thing Dr. Hill asked the room was, who in the room is an essential oil expert? There was only a couple of people that dare put their hands up. And I'm so glad I didn't put my hand up, aren't you, Saskia? Because afterwards he said, well, I'm not an essential oil expert. And everyone's like, my goodness, you are. And he's like, no, because every day we're learning something new about essential oils. So if we don't know everything there is to know, how can we be an expert? But that doesn't stop me doing what I'm doing and educating as many people as I can educate, because I know a lot more than most people know. And as a result, I can change people's lives by opening my mouth and sharing what I do know. So think about that. You know, if you ever have self-doubts, or if you ever think, you know, oh, I just don't feel I'm good enough to be that educator, to be that person, I don't know enough. Just remember that no one knows everything. We're all still learning, but you know a lot more than the person you're speaking to, and you can really change lives if you you know, go at it in that vein. You know, you are the role model. You be the role model. You be the person that you know, is your mission is to change people's lives and to share this amazing product that is going to impact in such a powerful way people's lives. And when people turn around to you, and you've probably already had this happen, and say, you you don't know how much my life has changed as a result of what you've shared with me, I can tell you it is the most amazing feeling. It's better than any amount of money that someone can put in your bank to pay you for doing something. When you know that somebody's life, you know, is somebody's waking up in the morning feeling alive and with vitality, and, you know, may be able to do things that they didn't ever think they'd be able to do again. That is the biggest paycheck that you can ever have. So I hope you want more of that if you've already had it. And if you haven't experienced it, I hope you like the sound of it and that you will jump on board with us and be part of our advocate movement. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you this evening. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to try and answer them as best I can. But I'd just like to say thank you for Saskia for leading the charge with the team there in Germany. You know, I hope you know you've got the most amazing, knowledgeable leader, and somebody that cares so deeply about what she's doing, and is there for you to help and support you in whatever way she can. And anything I can do to help in that journey is absolutely my pleasure.
I'm so grateful to know you spent the time with us now, give you knowledge from the corporate side to the leader side to the knowledge. And yeah, I give you a big, big hug and say thank you for your time. And we go now to switch to our German things and see you. And again, people, when you like to see or hear more from Lisa, join us for the convention group. And she's also a part of this group. Many, many thanks.
Thank you so much. Lovely to see you all. Bye bye.
So, das war also jetzt Lisa Burke. Ne? So schnell geht das, so schnell geht eine halbe Stunde rum und wir switchen jetzt auf das, was da so alles gegeben war, ne? Was da war und was wir alles gesehen haben oder sehen wollten. Und wir durften ja schon so ein bisschen jetzt von Lisa was sehen. Ich muss jetzt mal wieder zurückgehen hier auf meinen Bildschirm. Zack. So, also Lisa hat es ja schon angesprochen. Ihr könnt also einen ganzen Teil davon schon mitnehmen, könnt euch eure Notizen dazu gemacht haben. Wir hatten ja gesagt, wir bringen das jetzt mal in einem sehr kurzen Part nochmal zueinander und ich erzähle euch vielleicht ein bisschen mehr über die Sachen, wie ihr eben halt an Informationen kommt, die ihr weitergeben könnt. Denn wenn ihr eben zugehört habt oder falls es noch nicht verstanden habt, das macht ja nichts. Das ist ja auch ein bisschen neu immer in Englisch. Deswegen auf der Convention, wenn man mag, kann man sich das inzwischen, glaube ich, 11 verschiedene Sprachen übersetzen lassen, was da eigentlich gesprochen wird. Es ist wirklich wichtig, einfach loszugehen. Und diesen Deep Dive in diese einzelnen Geschichten und so weiter, das ist so ein bisschen immer wie in der Schule. Wir wollen lernen, einen Rahmen zusammenzuschrauben und alle freuen sich aufs Werkzeug. Und dann kommt der Lehrer rein und sagt, aber erstmal haben wir hier jetzt erstmal alles abzuarbeiten. Da ist jeder schon müde und hat die Freude, die er vorher hatte, ist dann schon fast weg. Also, wir machen das jetzt mal auf dem kurzen, schnellen Wege. Der Weg zurück, schlag deinem Alter ein Schnippchen. Ich fand, das ist so das Perfekte, wie man es ausdrücken kann, was eben halt da so kommt. Wie gesagt, Lisa hat es auch schon gesagt, das Lifelong Vitality Pack, das fand ich ganz spannend. Das hat Dr. Alex de Bell ganz klar erklärt und Dr. Hill auch. Das Lifelong Vitality Pack ist nichts, was jetzt auf einmal schlecht ist oder so. Nur Alex de Bell hat es ganz gut gesagt, wenn man halt dann irgendwann in der Forschung so weit ist, dass man so ein hohes Level erreicht hat, dass man das VMG entwickelt, dann kann man das irgendwo nicht zurückhalten und sagen, naja, wir haben ja jetzt hier zwar die erste Sahne, aber wir nehmen das Neue nicht mit auf die Reise, sondern wir lassen uns bei dem Alten. Fortschritt wird ja Gott sei Dank immer einen positiven Part bei doTERRA einnehmen und die Forschung ist ja etwas ganz, ganz Großes. Und so ist es eben halt gekommen, dass man VMG entwickelt hat. Und ich weiß nicht, wer von euch mal Terra Greens probiert hat. Einige haben das mal gemacht und die haben gesagt, boah, das wird aber ganz schön viel im Mund oder im Quark oder wo auch immer man das reingepackt hat. Und es sind aber halt so viele wichtige Sachen in so vielen Dingen drin, dass man gesagt hat, wir müssen es doch schaffen, es für jeden zugänglich zu machen. Ich sage jetzt mal Ritsch, Ratsch auf, rein, umrühren, trinken und dabei nicht das Gefühl haben, boah, ne, mein Mund wird immer voller oder boah, das sind überall Stückchen oder er schmeckt hier so nach Fisch am frühen Morgen. Und das hat man halt mit dem VMG geschafft. Und das ist halt einfach einzigartig. Und dann gucken wir mal, ob wir hier weiterkommen. Und mit dem VMG, als, ich nenne das jetzt mal den Oberbegriff, ist es so ein bisschen wirklich so, dass man dieses Age-Design betreiben kann. Lisa hatte eben schon einen tollen Chart gezeigt. Es geht eben halt um dieses Sichtbarmachen um diese ersten 6 Wochen. Und das ist zum Beispiel etwas, was so besonders ist, dass man wirklich nach 6 Wochen ein Ergebnis sehen kann, was natürlich nicht das Endergebnis ist. Ne? Wir hatten das ja eben schon gesehen. 1,9 Jahre in der Verjüngung des biologischen Alters. Da geht natürlich noch viel mehr und man sollte dann vielleicht für sich selber auch nicht gerade aufhören. Ähm, und man kann es wirklich so sagen. Lisa sagte ja schon, ja, ne, wir würden alle gerne an der Uhr zurückdrehen und ne, wir kennen das alle, wer hat an der Uhr gedreht? Ist es wirklich, und dann würde ich sagen, noch so früh, ne? Biologisches Alter in den Umkehrprozess gebracht. Und ich nehme das schon mal vorweg, wenn ihr in euren E-Mail-Ordner schaut, bitte schaut rein. In den letzten Tagen gab es schon ganz, ganz extrem tolle E-Mails von doTERRA mit wahnsinnig viel Information. Nutzt die, lest es, wenn es euch interessiert. Ihr müsst nichts auswendig lernen, ihr müsst es nicht alles können. Nur falls es euch interessiert, lest es. VMG ist ja, ne, Dr. Hill selber über 60 Jahre alt jetzt. Und es geht ja darum, wir werden alle mal etwas älter, aber wir wollen ja nicht kränker älter werden. Und wir wollen gerne einen gesunden Lifestyle haben und uns gesund fühlen. Und wie Lisa eben schon sagte, zu unserem Arzt sagen können, wenn der sagt, ja, dann gib mir mal deine Medikamentenliste. Welche? Ich brauche so gut wie nichts oder vielleicht nur wenig oder so. Und genau dort anzusetzen und das zu erhalten, da setzen wir mit VMG an. Und das ist eben halt diesen Wunsch zu bedienen. Ich möchte gerne, solange ich kann, ein gutes, selbstbestimmtes Leben führen und mich gut fühlen. wenn ich mich gut fühle, ist es natürlich auch ganz schön, dass ich vielleicht nicht nur im Kopf geistig auf voller Höhe bin und mein Körper gebraucht auf dem Sofa liegt, sondern wenn der Körper eben halt auch noch mitmachen kann. Und Lisa hatte das schon eben angesprochen. Das ist eins der Kernpunkte gewesen, die Dr. Hill immer wieder mitgegeben hat. Jegliche kränkliche Aspekte im Körper irgendwie vorkommt, hat immer auch einen, wie auch immer geartet, Entzündungsfaktor im Vorgang. Das heißt, es gibt immer irgendwo einen Punkt im Körper, der eben halt in den Entzündungsprozess gegangen ist. Und durch das VMG und das Omega geht man eben halt so ein bisschen hin und sagt, wir sind hier jetzt mal auf der Kapselreise durch den Körper und wir finden dich. Wir finden diese Punkte, die eben halt in die Sachen der Entzündung kommen. Und wenn wir sie gefunden haben, dann fangen wir eben halt an, sie nach und nach zu reduzieren. Und damit gibt es halt wieder ein ganz anderes Wohlbefinden für den ganzen Körper. Und deswegen, ich nenne das ein bisschen aufspüren und in den Rücklauf kommen, denn wenn aufgespürt ist, dann wird eben halt das reduziert und wie Lisa eben schon sagte, dann gibt es eben bestimmte Stoffe, die eben halt auch für bestimmten Abtransport sorgen, der in sich vielleicht Blutgefäßen befunden hat. Und jetzt gucke ich mal, ob ich das hinkriege. Also drückt mir die Daumen. Wir machen jetzt nämlich was ganz Besonderes. Ja, nicht Clara hier, ne? Clara. Wir machen etwas ganz Besonderes und zwar habe ich aus Australien ein Video bekommen. Einige von euch wissen das ja. Meine kleine Tochter ist gerade nach Australien gegangen. Ob sie wiederkommt, wie lange sie bleiben wird, ich weiß nicht. Ihr geht es da gerade so gut. Sie ist auf einem landwirtschaftlichen Betrieb gewesen und geht jetzt in ein Surfcamp und hat an einem Wochenende jetzt was Tolles gemacht. Ich muss mal eben die Clara hochheben, damit sie uns hier in Ruhe lässt, die kleine Zicke. So, und sie hat mir ein Video geschickt und es hat mich so fasziniert und auf der Rückreise von Brüssel habe ich mir das immer wieder angeguckt und habe gedacht, genau das ist es. Und ich lasse das mal laufen, Crossfingers, dass es jetzt auch funktioniert. Denn gestalte doch mit VMG und den Produkten, die du rundherum nimmst, dein eigenes 3D-Erlebnis deines Körpers. Oh, das geht nicht, schade auch. Ist ja komisch. Ich probiere es nochmal. So, was ich damit sagen wollte, war, ich mag das gerne nochmal zeigen, damit man das vielleicht beim zweiten Mal noch ein bisschen genauer mitnimmt. Wenn du dich also hinsetzt und deinen Körper einfach mal betrachtest, wenn diese Schienen eben halt deine eigenen Blutbahnen sozusagen sind und du diese Faszination für deinen Körper nehmen kannst, dann ist es so besonders zu wissen, wie gut, wenn meine Bahn so perfekt läuft, dass mein Blut und dass meine Zellen halt einfach mega gut verarbeitet werden, bereit sind für das nächste Level. Hier will ich noch mal ganz kurz einen Chart reinpacken und das ist eben halt das, wo Dr. Hill immer wieder sagt, denkt dran, das ist einfach eure Grundlage für euer Leben, für euer selbstbestimmtes Leben. Denn wenn es uns irgendwann nicht mehr gut geht und wir nicht mehr selbstbestimmt sind, müssen wir eine ganze Menge lassen. Und auf diese Pyramide werden wir auch in den nächsten Wochen immer mal wieder drauf eingehen. Nur ganz wichtig, es gibt ja, diesen Link habe ich auch schon in die Gruppe gestellt, ein eigenes Erkennungsprogramm sozusagen, wo sollte ich noch mehr ansetzen. Das kann jeder für sich ausfüllen. Macht es wirklich, schreibt aber auch das Datum drauf und guckt nach 6 Monaten wieder, Mensch, was hat sich geändert, was könnte ich anpassen. Auch das ist ein tolles Tool für Kunden, für Berater, für alle Menschen, die man eben halt entweder beglücken möchte oder die sich selbst schon beglückt haben mit den ätherischen Ölen und Produkten von doTERRA. So, jetzt kommen wir noch mal kurz zu dieses Bild hier. Ja, da muss ich so ein bisschen fast Luft holen, denn dort sind noch 2 Produkte drauf. Dazu erzähle ich gleich noch etwas. Also einmal sehen wir das VMG. Das VMG ist so verpackt wie eben halt unser Kollagen. Und dann kommt das E-Omega, das wie gesagt ja in 2 verschiedenen Abpackungen verfügbar sein wird. Einmal in Kapseln und da darf ich sagen, die Kapseln sind größer als die es bisher waren. Und es gibt die eben in Sachets und in Sachets wirklich, die kannst du in deinen Salat geben. Auf der Convention, also ich hatte halt das Glück, ich durfte das schon ein bisschen probieren, ein bisschen länger und da waren noch ein paar andere von, die das auch schon probieren durften und die dann sagten, ja, also weißt du, wir haben das jetzt auch mal abends so ne, auf das gebackene Brot draufgegeben. Das ist so lecker, weil, und da kommen wir gleich drauf, was ist noch so das Besondere an diesem E-Omega in Flüssigform? Zu diesem Coming Soon to Europa, wie gesagt, da sind noch 2 Produkte auf diesem Bild, wo ich mich ganz doll freue, dass wir wissen, dass sie kommen, aber wir wissen halt noch nicht wann. Deswegen, wir nehmen sie noch ein bisschen zurück und erzählen euch später noch einiges davon. Auf der rechten Seite, was ist das, was Dr. Hill sagt? Geh in die einzelnen Bestandteile dessen, was du eben halt wirklich brauchst und nimm das als dein Alltägliches. Und das ist eben halt ganz klar an erster Stelle das VMG, das E-Omega, in welcher Form auch immer, das PB Assist in der Morgen- und Abendform, wenn man mag, und TerraSol. Frankincense, ich habe da mal Kapseln, Schrägstrich Öl geschrieben und optional das, was man eben halt noch braucht. Und dazu kann ich noch ganz kurz erzählen, warum steht da Copaiba drauf. Ich selber nehme Copaiba jeden Tag 2-mal locker gerne unter die Zunge mit Weihrauchöl zusammen. Serenity nehmen viele den Stick oder das Öl, um den Schlaf besser zu begleiten. Und die Blue Kapseln war ein ganz spannender Aspekt, den Dr. Hill nochmal erwähnt hat. Er selber nimmt Copaiba-Kapseln zum Abend hin und die Blue-Kapseln und das eben halt auch im Alltäglichen, weil er eben halt sagt, in der Nacht kann der Körper ja am besten regenerieren und eben halt auch da, wo die Issues, also da, wo die Probleme waren, am besten wieder mit ansetzen. Und deswegen nimmt er eben halt im Alltag die Blutkapseln und nicht nur dann, wenn er das Gefühl hat, er braucht sie. Copaiba eben halt fürs Nervensystem und von daher optional eben halt das dazu, was man eben halt gerne möchte. Aber eben halt der Grundpart ist VMG, E-Omega, PB Astis und PB Restore. TerraSym, wie gesagt, als on top und dann ist man einfach safe. Mal gucken. So, in dem VMG ist halt so viel drin. Ich habe das mal auf der linken Seite einmal ein bisschen rangeschlagen. Wie gesagt, weniger ist mehr, manchmal im Wissen. Nur das ist wirklich so der Part, der da ist. Und das Tolle ist eben halt, ich kann es eben halt sehr einfach machen. Ich brauche das Sachet nur aufreißen. Ich kann es in mein Smoothie geben. Ich kann es in mein Wasser geben. Und das Besondere ist, und das muss ich wirklich sagen, der Geschmack, oh, der Geschmack ist halt so angenehm, weil es schmeckt wie eine Zwischenfrucht zwischen Ananas und Mango. Und es ist auch nicht zu süß oder sonstiges. Und das Spannende war, auf der Convention war halt ein großer Part abgesperrt, wo man eben halt hingehen konnte und das probieren konnte. Und ich habe da eine ganze Zeit lang gestanden und habe nur die Menschen beobachtet. Und jeder, der es eben halt vorher noch nicht kannte und probiert, sagte, das ist ja lecker, oh, das ist ja lecker. Also und das ist halt einfach schon ein toller Anfang, wie man vielleicht auch seine Kinder mit einbinden kann in ja, ganz normale Supplements. Das Bild kannten wir eben schon von Lisa, die das auch nochmal aufgesetzt hat. Und wie gesagt, wir in Europa haben das große Glück, wir haben noch eine etwas andere Zusammensetzung. Und Moringa ist halt etwas so Besonderes, das uns so viel gibt. Da haben wir echt ein Riesenglück. Und jetzt würde ich ganz gerne was nochmal zum Omega sagen, und zwar zu den Omega-Sachets. Die Omega-Sachets sind für mich ein ganz großer Gamechanger für alle, die ähm, auf dem Level des Kopfes denken. Was heißt das? Ihr wisst, bin hochsensibel und habe einen Asperger-Part. Und alle Kinder, die geboren werden, haben einen erhöhten Bedarf an Omega, um das Gehirn auszubilden und so weiter. Alle Schwangeren haben einen höheren Bedarf an Omega, um in der Schwangerschaft das Gehirn mit anzusetzen und die Augen und so weiter. Und Kinder bis zu einem fast Erwachsenenalter haben ja ein ganz anderes Zellwachstum und also ein anderes Hirnwachstum sozusagen, was sich da eben halt wie schnell tut. Und das darf versorgt sein. Und alle die, die besonders sind, haben nochmal ähm, noch mal einen Anspruch an sich selber, mehr Omega aufzunehmen. Und dieser Anspruch entsteht im Kopf und dieser Kopf freut sich wahnsinnig, wenn das eben halt bedient wird. So, deswegen rede ich von den Sachets, weil die Sachets eben halt für die Kinder perfekt sind, für die Erwachsenen perfekt sind. Es schmeckt lecker. Und was ist für mich das Besondere an dem Omega in Flüssigform, wo das Olivenöl auch von Lesbos drin ist? Da hat mich sehr beeindruckt der Vortrag von ähm, den beiden, die dort in Lesbos sozusagen das Restaurant betrieben haben, wo sie eben halt am Anfang nur eine Tafel eingerichtet haben und in Höchstzeiten 5000 Mahlzeiten pro Tag geliefert haben, mit Hilfe von doTERRA und eben halt gesagt haben, wir möchten gerne, dass das gekocht wird, was auch wächst und eben halt den Menschen beibringen, ne, sich selbst zu füttern, was Lisa ja sagte, also ne, nicht nur den Fisch zu essen, sondern auch noch den Fisch angeln zu können. Und jetzt kommt das Besondere, denn Lesbos hat eine ganz große Besonderheit. Es ist ja eine der vorgelagerten Inseln vor Griechenland. Und es ist eine Vulkansteininsel. Das heißt, es hat einen ganz anderen Mineralgehalt im Boden. Und diese liegt so, dass sie so umweht wird, dass eben halt komplett von allen Seiten immer wieder ständig die Salzluft vorbeikommt. Und das macht dieses Olivenöl, weil diese Olivenbäume, die eben halt dort wachsen und stehen, sind halt so besonders. Das macht es so besonders, weil eben halt die Salzluft und das Lavagestein die Oliven so einzigartig werden lassen. Und wenn man dann noch das ätherische Öl dazu nimmt, was wir in dem Omega drin haben, und dann eben halt noch den Kalbfisch aus Norwegen, da gab es auch einen sehr langen Vortrag drüber, wie man eben halt sozusagen das bewerten kann, dass diese Fische dort herkommen, wo sie herkommen. Macht es, und das muss man einfach, muss es einfach immer wieder sagen, das VMG und das E-Omega sind weltweit einzigartig. Sowas gibt es nirgendwo noch einmal. Und in Anführungszeichen, nur weil doTERRA so bescheiden ist, man könnte sagen, eigentlich müsste doTERRA ab nächste Woche rausgehen und die Welt voll plakatieren und Radiospots und so weiter machen, dass eben halt diese beiden Produkte so einzigartig auf der Welt sind. Das macht doTERRA aber nicht. Das wisst ihr, das ist gar nicht der Anspruch von doTERRA, so zu sein. Ähm, deswegen seid ihr das Sprachrohr für doTERRA oder eben halt diese Produkte. Jedenfalls wird es eben halt nach alter Tradition auch geerntet und sofort verarbeitet. Und das ist halt etwas, was mir ganz, ganz doll wichtig ist, nochmal on top. Denn in großen Olivenölplantagen, und zwar auch in privat geführten halt leider immer mehr, kommt die sogenannte Overnight-Rüttelmethode zum Einsatz. Das heißt, über Nacht werden diese Olivenbäume maschinell so hin und her geschlagen, dass die Oliven abfallen. Dabei geht aber eben halt auch alles andere kaputt. Also jedes Kriechtier, alles, was da drin ist und wenn ein Vogel noch mit drin sitzt und so weiter. Und die machen eben halt wirklich noch die alte Methode, dass sie mit den langen Stöcken reingehen und dann wird eben halt sozusagen hin und her geschlagen. Und da kann also jeder Käfer oder sonst irgendwas in alle Richtungen abhauen und wird nicht mit dem Netz sozusagen noch eingefangen. Und es wird dann sofort verarbeitet. Also das sind so die Sachen, die es so besonders machen. Und hier nochmal, hier ist das Sachet. Und es ist eben halt, es sind 4000 Milligramm Olivenöl. Und jetzt bitte, 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 das ist halt ganz wichtig. Auf der Folie von Lisa konnte man das ein bisschen besser sehen. Es sind 5883 Milligramm Fischöl. Und das ist halt einfach einzigartig und grandios. Mit dem Lemonöl on top, das es eben halt sozusagen der Bioverfügbarkeit nochmal einzigartig macht. Also, wenn ihr mich fragt, das muss einfach jeder Mensch wissen und kennenlernen. Das ist nochmal die Softgel-Variante. Da sieht man, da hat man eben halt 2000 Milligramm Fischöl und 300 Milligramm Wildorangenöl. Und das ist dann eben halt die andere Variante. So, jetzt kommen wir zu dem Let's Do It Together. Also, man darf ja nicht spoilern, aber man kann ja auch mal was sagen, was man weiß oder nicht weiß oder wie auch immer. Manch einer kann vielleicht mal gucken, was so die nächsten Tage passiert. Immer schön E-Mails lesen. Und ab dem 1.6., das war in der letzten E-Mail zu lesen, gibt es eine 90 Tage Feel Alive Challenge-Programm, wie auch immer. Ich würde mir das nicht entgehen lassen. Und Mensch, ihr seht, die Dame hat aber noch was Grünes in der Hand. Sieht ganz nach VMG aus. Also guckt bitte ganz genau, was passiert, was kommt von doTERRA. Erinnert euch an in 60 Tagen 1,9 Jahre runter. Das ist halt einfach einzigartig. Und mit einem Link kommt man eben halt zu diesem neuen Tool, wo man sich auch das runterladen kann, wo man eben halt den Kurs machen kann. Das ist ja auch schon in der Gruppe drin. Und jetzt wollen wir hier mal die Freigabe stoppen. Und ich will nur sagen, jetzt haben wir fast eine Stunde um. Es ist erst ganz wenig gesagt und doch ganz viel. Glaubt mir, das ist ein absoluter Gamechanger. Und es ist in Anführungszeichen, es ist nur VMG, ne, was eben halt nicht nur die Kapseln ersetzt, sondern auch das Terra Greens drin ist. Es ist ein bisschen Turmeric drin, es ist ein bisschen Mikrobiom drin. Also es ist halt, es ist so viel. Und das mit einem Klick sozusagen aufzumachen, ist einfach irre. Nehmt es mit auf die Reise, teilt das, gebt das in die Welt raus. Es wäre so, so schade, wenn das untergeht. Und von daher, wir gucken mal, was so alles passiert und nehmen das mit auf die